So from this point, I'm actually going to combine these two. And so if I hit Q, actually just make that a selection, and then we can actually look and see how that's looking. And so from here, what I want to do is actually go to vertex mode. And if you just double click on that, it'll actually select all the vertexes around the whole surface, the outer ring surface. And we don't really want that, so what I'm going to do is just hold down Alt and left drag, and that removes from selection. So I'm just removing from this selection as well. And backface, we lost our backface selection on that. So we just want to make sure that that's also selected there. So we just want to make sure that those outside verts are deselected. We don't want those. We just want all the ones that are right down the middle. And so what we want to do is, if you hold down, actually, if you just want to hold down, actually turn off our live surface, and then once you hit we just bring the scale of X, and then we can also move to the left as well. So if we turn on this guy, and we can actually look from the front view and see kind of where we're at on the grid. So we can kind of match it up right like so. Or you can also snap to grid. And so if you just make sure that you select the X, which is, it's yellow. So if we were to actually hit translate, whoops, undo that, and so we go to translate, and you'll see that the X and the Y are not not active, because the Y is green and the red is the X is red. So if you click on the X, that makes that selection active, the X active. And so if we actually just shift drag on these grid points, it should place all those guys. So yeah, so what it did was we just make sure that we're on that middle grid line, which is right down the center. And then I'm going to actually go to object mode, and also control 1, and go back to perspective view. And so here we're actually we can turn off our snap to grid, and from here we should be able to. Alright, so for this one we're actually going to just mirror this mesh, and we're just going to mirror across the X. And so just make sure that that's selected, and we just click in the yellow box, just make sure that we're actually just no selection there. Alright, and then so from here, if we go to mesh and mirror, and you hit the option box, we're actually going to mirror the axis position from the world in the X. Okay, and so we're actually going to go in the negative direction, because we're going from positive being to the right and the left being negative. And so combine with the original is what we want, and we'll just mirror that and just make sure that that's all good. And from here, just make sure that looks like it mirrored just fine, and then close close this window, just double click on, actually, I'm going to just hit Q, and from here we can actually just select these vertex, select this vertex edge, go to the front view, and just select right down the middle. We just want that first edge, okay? Actually, that's not what we wanted. So from here, just want to make sure that that doesn't, so mirror. Don't want to merge, do not merge borders. So we do, and I'm going to turn combine off as well and just do a straight merge. There we go. So now we have two surfaces. So this surface and this surface, and if we say we want to combine this, we can go right here into the modeling toolkit and combine that. And then from here, if we select all of our verts, all of our vertex, and if you hold down Shift and right click, you'll get this marking menu. And right, if you go to the very top one, which is merge vertices, and you can just click this merge vertices and the option box, and usually the threshold 0.01 is just fine, and then so we'll just merge, and that should show that these verts should be single and merged together, which is what we're looking for. So this should be one object now. And so what we want to do here is select that object, which is going to be this poly surface 2. And if we go to modify, actually we'll want to delete by type history, just to make sure that we clean that all up. It just gets rid of all the nodes, the extra nodes that gets placed inside there. And then also just, we don't need to freeze our transform quite yet. So that should be fine. I will just name this low poly mesh. Actually just still mascot low poly. There we go. And so here you can just see that we're all still it's still very faceted, which is okay. We'll clean that up. And also from here, I just want to make some minor adjustments. So just going back to Control 1, just to bring everything back, and then I go to Quad Draw, make sure that's selected, and Quad Draw. And then also make sure that this guy is our live surface. And so we should be able to go back to doing our Quad Draw stuff here. And so some of this I don't want so much to be symmetrical, especially with the hair. Well, it should work okay for now, but we will eventually break symmetry with that hair shape. But the rest is fine for now. And so from here, I'm actually going to move down the pant leg. And so with this pant leg, I'm not going to worry so much about the belt and the loops so far, just to kind of build in these pants without the loops and the belt. Mistake. I just want to make sure that my symmetry is object X. Okay, so now we should, all Alright, no green dots, and we just want symmetry to be object X. And then here, we should be, yes, okay, so now we're working in symmetry, which is what we're looking for. And so I'm just kind of going along here, and just make sure that we're in the center there, and also here. And here I'm just coming down pretty low, which is fine. Actually just going to come up here, just right under that belt buckle. And I'll probably just add a new subdivision through here once we get this kind of blocked in. So just want to make sure that we're going down the middle. And here, usually it's good to kind of keep the seam right down the middle. So actually just going to move this guy just a little bit more over here, so that seam's a little bit more down the seam side. You just make sure that that's yellow. And it should keep. So we're losing just a little bit of volume, but that's okay. Just following this all around. There we go. So from here, actually just bring this down. Also here. Around that leg, and this one we just bring that one down a little forward there, and it looks like it should be a good start on the leg shape there. So we have basically his torso kind of built up, and then so from here we can actually just start building around the leg. Oops. Oh, because, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. There we go. That's fine. We'll just make sure that we're going to keep this. We're actually going to collapse that in, just so that's a triangle right there, which is fine. And just make sure that we're building through here on the leg. So, like so. And then we'll just basically come, actually I'm just going to hold down tab and just middle mouse drag down to the knee, and then just drag this guy out and just place these where I want them. Just kind of basically placing right at the knee level there, and just pulling these out. And if we hold down hold down our control, actually add depth to that, and then also I'm going to actually relax this a little bit, and so that looks like it kind of goes I just undid that a little bit more, so I'm starting to lose a little bit of volume. it's not horrible, but I just want to make sure some of that volume is actually still in there. And so I'm actually going to add another span, a couple extra spans through here, through his bum area, and just kind of relax this down a little bit. It undid that. Actually, I think I might make so I'm actually going to delete this face right here, if I can get to it. And delete that face, and then add a new span right here. And so here we should be able to, actually I'm going to get rid of this whole span there. Well, don't want to do that. Just want to add a little depth through here. So, well, we'll continue and we'll make adjustments as we see fit. So, also I kind of want this. I want this to actually flow. I want this poly to actually flow more down the center of the leg. So like that. This is falling a little flat right there. So actually if I throw in just relax this area and then throw a new span. Actually I'm going to delete these. I'm going to delete these two right here to see if I can actually get some volume through here. So here and here, and it's just not giving me the volume I'm looking for. Just relaxing this area just a little bit. So with this, actually going to it's not looking exactly how I want it to, so I'm actually going to delete these faces through here. So I think I might have a little bit more control through here if I manually do this. There we go. Not so worried so much about through here. I just want to make sure that these polygons are flowing more straight down the leg. And so here, I think when you place the polys right where you want them, place those dots. When you place those dots, it actually conforms a little better to the surface. Although this looks like it's still on the inside there. But we're also kind of cutting it close. It's still very boxy, which, yeah, so I'll probably add an extra span right here just to try and get this to look a little better. There we go. Whoops. Not so much like that. We want a dot there. There, that looks a little better. Right through here, we're losing just a little bit, but it's not horrible. So I'm just going to continue to come down this leg. There we go. Looks like we're just losing a little bit of volume right through here, which isn't horrible. So basically the top of the knee, and I'm probably going to add, actually I am going to add another span right through here. And so this will have, there we go. So this goes to the back of the knee. There we go. And so from here, probably just going to go right to about right at the bottom of the cuff. And I will add a new span in here as well. So just bottom of the cuff, just in that general area. And we'll add a new span once we get these polys placed in here. There we go. And then I'll just throw an extra span in here. There we go. And then just relax this guy a little bit. Just undo, relax. Just going through here and relaxing this area. And just relax the back a little bit. So I don't know why we're actually losing so much, why we're actually collapsing into this area of his leg. But we can probably pull that volume out when we get to. So from here I'm actually going to just draw right to the top of the cuff. So we're just going to come out straight from here. And so from here, actually, I want this to be a little bit more over here. So we're losing that face. That face is flipping on us, which that's fine. I'm just going to grab the tab and just extrude how I want it. So this way I have total control. And also here for this cuff, top of the cuff here, top of the cuff here, and also here, and here, and there. Alright, and also probably move this guy right here, and also move this one out just a little bit, just so I get that. Alright, then from here we can actually go select that edge and just extrude down with the middle mouse button. It looks like we're getting some weirdness there, so might have to actually manually do it. Sometimes that happens. So we just want to, I'm actually just putting an extra span in the middle here. Actually, this way I know, actually we're gonna not put a span through here. We're just gonna actually bring that down to the bottom. That's totally fine. So we want this guy to be pretty low poly. We're imagining that we're taking our stylized character and actually going to be able to take him into a mobile environment, whether that be, we're going to try and shoot for mobile games, stylized mobile games. So here, just make sure that we're closing this up. And actually I'm going to turn the grid off, and to do so you just go to show, and towards the bottom there's grid, so you just turn that grid off so you don't have to look at it. So I'm just dragging around here. Let's go to the bottom. And one here. Like so. And from this leg, I'm assuming that we can just take this guy, hold down tab, and just extrude down to the sock, which is what, yeah, looking exactly how I was hoping to. So I'm actually just going to come straight to the sock line. And I don't think I'm going to, yeah, we lose this one a little bit. So I want to get inside here. There we go. And then come up. Let's move this up a little bit. So, like so. Just want to be able to see that. We want to actually just tweak that where we want it to go. So just move that. That way we have access to it a little easier. Just moving this out to the sock shape. Also to the sock shape. So it's basically our foot. And then from here, probably just go outside of this sock shape, and yeah, this will be fine. I want to be able to still see this. So from here, yep, there we go. We're just losing a little volume, but since we're going low poly, it's not going to make that big of a difference. You'll still be able to see, like once we texture the sock and stuff, you'll be able to see that. And this is a great line to segue from. In our UV, we can put our seam right at the sock line.